February 15th, 2026. Mark that date because it's the day the tech world officially splits right down the middle. You see, a global rebellion against the giants of Silicon Valley, well, it's not just brewing anymore, it's here. And we're going to break down exactly how this massive shift is creating a completely new world order for AI.
This one sentence, this has become the rallying cry for dozens of nations. Now, weights, in AI terms, are the very core of the model. It's everything it's learned. So the idea is actually pretty simple. If you don't control that fundamental intelligence yourself, you are leaving your country strategically vulnerable. And that belief is the engine driving this entire movement towards what everyone is now calling sovereign AI.
So how in the world did we get to this breaking point so fast? Well, let's rewind a bbit. In January 2025, the US tightens its grip with some really strict AI export controls. Just a few months after that, Meta drops an absolute bombshell, Llama 4, an open weights model that was so powerful it literally changed the entire game. And all of that leads us to tomorrow, February 16th, at the India AI Impact Summit, the official kickoff of the rebellion.
Now, what's happening in New Delhi is way bigger than just another tech conference. It's really the birthplace of what's being called the AI Commons Rebellion. Tomorrow, leaders from 20 different nations are all flying in to sign something called the AI Commons Pact. They're creating a brand new alliance and drawing a clear line in the sand, a line that people are already calling the cloud curtain.
You have to understand, for years, this was just how it worked. If your country, your hospital, your business wanted to use the best AI, you really only had one option. You had to send your most sensitive data into a proprietary US cloud, a total black box. And then you had to pay a premium just to get your own intelligence processed and sent back to you. That dependency, it's now seen as a completely unacceptable risk.
And that gets us to the real heart of the matter. Why are so many different countries all deciding to break away at the exact same time? Well, it all boils down to this dilemma of the black box and this powerful, growing desire for technological self-determination.
The choice that nations are facing right now couldn't be clearer. On one side, you've got the old proprietary model. Control is centralized in the US, the code is secret so you can't inspect it, and you're stuck in a pay-per-use model that basically creates a massive strategic vulnerability. But on the other side, you have this new open weights model, and that offers sovereign control, transparent code that you can audit, and the strategic independence to own and operate your own intelligence. It's a no-brainer for them. And hey, don't just take my word for it, the data completely backs this up. A recent survey from the Linux Foundation shows the motivations are crystal clear. A whopping 72% of leaders say data sovereignty and control is their #1 driver. And right on its heels, at 69%, is national security. This isn't just about saving money, this is about control. But look, having the will to break away is one thing. You still need the means to do it. This rebellion needed a weapon, right? An equalizer. And in April of 2025, Meta gave it to them, Llama 4.
See, previous open weights models were fine. They were seen as starter models. Good, but not really a threat to the big guys. Llama 4 is a completely different beast. The flagship version, they call it Behemoth, is a 2.1 trillion parameter monster. That's not just competitive, that's a frontier-level model with reasoning abilities that are getting scarily close to AGI, or artificial general intelligence.
And its capabilities are just staggering. There's another version called Scout that has a 10 million token context window. What does that actually mean? It means you can feed it 7.5 million words in a single go. A country could analyze its entire legal code, or decades of national archives, or incredibly complex intelligence files all at once. But here's the real kicker. The most disruptive feature of all is the price. The API cost is zero, nothing. For a country trying to run its entire government on a subscription AI is a huge strategic and economic liability. With Llama 4, that cost just vanishes. All you need is the hardware to run it on.
Okay, so how can a model with 2.1 trillion parameters possibly be efficient? Well, the secret sauce is its architecture, which is called mixture of experts. The best way to think about it is like a hospital. Instead of having every single doctor see every patient for every problem, a router, like a triage nurse, sends your specific problem to the exact specialist you need. So only a tiny fraction of the model's massive brain fires up at any given time, which makes it unbelievably powerful, yet efficient enough to run on your own servers.
So you have the motivation, and now you have the tool. What does this rebellion actually look like on the ground? Let's take a look at what these nations are building now that they're leaving the US cloud behind for good. This right here is the end goal, sovereign AI. It's a simple idea, but it's incredibly profound. It's the ability to build and run your own AI, using your own infrastructure, your own data, and your own people. It's about creating an AI that actually reflects your nation's unique culture, your language, and your values, not the values of Silicon Valley.
And the AI Commons Alliance is already a serious force to be reckoned with. We're talking about major economies here: France, Brazil, India, the UAE, plus 14 other nations, and they are all committed to building their own independent AI ecosystems.
Now, building this stuff isn't easy, but there's a pretty clear playbook emerging. It all starts with a sovereign cloud. That means local data centers that you control. Then, you curate massive national datasets in your own languages that reflect your culture. You use those datasets to fine-tune a powerful base model like Llama 4 for your specific national needs. And this is the critical part. You invest in your own people, your own local talent to run and maintain the whole thing.
So let's zoom out, because this split has massive long-term consequences. It really signals the end of one era and the beginning of a much more complex and, frankly, a much more competitive one.
And if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. For the last few years, the race for AI dominance was framed as a winner-take-all game. Well, the collapse of that old model proves one thing for sure. The idea of a single throne, of one ruler in the kingdom of AI, is officially dead.
The geopolitical fallout is already becoming obvious. This cloud curtain is creating two completely distinct technology zones. AI is becoming openly nationalistic, aligned with foreign policy. And think about this. If you're a global company, you are now being forced to build and run two totally separate AI stacks just to operate in both zones. This isn't a new Cold War, it's a multi-front war for technological supremacy.
And that leaves us with one final, very provocative question. The reign of the old king is over. The power to create world-changing, superhuman intelligence is spreading all across the globe. So, when every nation has its own AGI perfectly aligned to its own interests, does that make the world a safer place or a far more dangerous one?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.